Hey everybody, welcome to Medora Budgets. My name is Monique and I'd like to thank anyone who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. Let me get this out. I truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So if you are rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if it's content you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. It's myself and Sweets, married with a whole bunch of kids, trying to figure out our future, family, and finances, so the decisions we're making now won't negatively impact us in the future. Today is Thursday, the 24th, and we are here to do a closeout for last week's budget, set up for this week's budget. It is still a part of the same paycheck period, and maybe even talk through my expenses. I don't know. We shall see. All right, so let us go ahead and get started. So first, here's Big Bertha, and here's the calendar for October. We're concentrating specifically on the paycheck period that started on the 18th, last Friday, and runs through the 31st. So my weekly expenses run from 18th through the 24th, and my overall budget runs based on my paycheck cycle, so that's the 18th through the 31st. So it was very much so bill heavy the first part of the week. So the middle of the month is the heaviest area as far as my bills are concerned. So all of those came out. Best Buy came out. City came out. So for Lawn Love, it was actually $80 instead of $75. They charged taxes. They usually didn't charge taxes. They trying to come up by a little change, and then we gave them a tip too. So we give them a tip too. So that's $80 there. So I'm waiting on, for the remainder of this paycheck cycle, I'm just waiting on Gas South, Good Notes, and Apple Care. And those are the ones that we'll kind of talk about when we talk through the budget. So everything else is okay. They did come, so I will let you guys know. We'll talk about it probably more so next month when I start to reconcile my bills then and do my budget at that point. So we had someone come out on the 21st and let us know that there was an issue. Wasn't that? No, maybe not. No, they came out to do the test. So remember, we had somebody come out this week. First, the water company came out to see if there was a leak. There was, but they could not determine where it was. We had a plumber come out. He was able to determine the leak was not on the inside. We paid him $95 and then he was done. We had someone come out on the 21st to actually detect where the leak was. He detected where the leak was. It was outside. It was underneath our driveway. After he looked at it and someone else looked at it, so that would be a total of 3 individuals, they all said the same thing, that our piping is old. They said that the piping that we have has some lawsuits and other things around it right now because it just doesn't hold up well, I guess. Now my house is old. It was built in 1999, which sounds crazy to say that's old, but you get what I'm saying. So but whatever the piping is, he said trying to connect to that piping just to fix just the one issue, go under the driveway and fix the one issue, would be difficult because at that point sometimes other pieces of the pipe break. So everybody, if I'm clear, everybody just suggested that we run new pipes. So we were back up to the 4Gs. So we ended up getting that done on the 22nd. It cost roughly $4,000. We'll talk about how I'm going to be paying that money back. I did do a City Flex loan off of the money that I already had available on my credit card, which gave me a much better interest rate on that. But we'll talk about that when it comes to the budget. So I just wanted to give you though a heads up on that piece, and you will be seeing something else additional as far as City is concerned coming forward, but it is what it is. It can be kind of difficult because I am so grateful that we had the means to be able to do that, and we did not have to leave a leak there for a long time while we tried to figure it out. But at the same time, you know, it's been a lot over the last several months. Actually, all of 2024 has been a lot. So, but I'm not testing God. So Jesus, that wasn't That wasn't to say that you need to give us anything else. I'm good, okay? So anyway, here is the budget. All right, so this is the first week from October the 18th through the 24th, like we talked about before. That's the time that it is right now. So we'll talk about how all of these things ended up happening. And where is my pen? We'll use this one. All right, so all of the money came in as far as income is concerned, as expected. We're at that 2,400 mark, and maybe I'll go in just a little bit. Is that better? Okay. We're at that 2,400 mark. Lawn Love, like I said before, it was we were supposed to do $75 for that, but it was $79.54. So I will need to write that in. It's in red because it's a problem. It's over budget. You know, anything in green is good. Anything in red is bad. And here's my pen. Okay, so let's write that in. $79.54 is the new number that we're working with there. All of the money for my variable expenses already came out as expected, so that's $240. As far as subscriptions, we didn't have any subscriptions during that particular week, and even if we did, we document them here, but we would not take it out of the budget because I have a sinking fund to handle all of the subscriptions. Next, we have debt. This is where the majority of the money went. Everything came out as expected. Green Sky was just a quarter less. So that should be what? $1,049.75. And I will just be sure of that. Something else that I can tell you guys that I did not realize is that my mortgage did decrease by a little bit more than I thought. So, and I still am stuck on whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing. $1,049.75. Okay. So, and initially I thought it was going to be $688. It's actually $668. So going forward, you'll see this go down by another $10. So instead of split billing $345, which would have made a total of $690, I'm going to do $335, which will be a total of $670 that I'll be paying for mortgage. Some people may say, just add it in there, keep it in there, Monique, and that way you can pay a little bit more towards the principal. Nah, I'm gonna need that $20 after this 4 G's that I had to put out for this water bill. All right, so that's $1,049.75. And then here, high priority, all of that came out as expected. That was $250. Next over here, low priority, all of that came out as expected. So that was a total of $100. And for my extra savings and investments, that came out as expected. That was $200. So most of these numbers are the same. So $2,400 for that. Expenses is where we were off just by a little bit. So that would have been $240, everything on this left side of this page. So that's $240 plus $79.54. So $319.54 is what that one should say. This is $319.54. For debt, that should say $1,049.75, and then everything else is right. So 2,400 minus 319.54 minus 1,049.75 minus 350 minus 200 equals, what is that? $480.71. So that's less than I'm rolling over. $480.71. That's less than I'm rolling over than anticipated. So I'm going to take that 480 and I'm going to put that in over here. That's how much we are working with as far as our next week's budget is concerned. So we're working with $480. I have Gas South that's coming out. I have Ring that's supposed to come out as well. Those two add up. Gas South is 101. Ring is 10. So that's $112 total that I'm looking at. As far as my variable expenses are concerned, these are the amounts that are that I typically would have going out. For Corinne, you have a check mark here. That's because I already took $20 and moved it over to Cash App so that she would have that. So this is just a note for me. Although the total amount is going to be $240, I'm only going to transfer $220 over to my Ally checking account for this week's bills. But I'll denote 240 because that's what the actual total is on this one. All right, so for good note, and let me make sure I did not make Corinne 40. No, I just had her 20. Okay, so that's right. So I have good notes that's going to come out on the 28th. It's a subscription. It's my yearly subscription for that. And then I've got the Apple Care that I need to write out as well. I'm not going to write the amounts though, for sure. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Well, y'all don't know. I paused the video. There you go. Apple Care subs was the other item, and that comes out on the 29th. And we'll reconcile those when I do my cash unstuffing to pay off the credit card, which those are built on, okay? So, or billed at. So $240 plus $112. $240, $112 is $352. Is my total expenses from 480. 480 minus 352 is $128 left. And that's okay because we don't have anything for debt. We're not giving anything to our high priority or low priority. The only other thing we have to take care of is the $60 for Monday Mini. So let's write that in. So rollover was 480. Total expenses was 352. And extra savings comes in at $60. So let's see what we have there. 480 minus 352 minus 60 equals $68. All righty. So that should be my rollover for the end of this paycheck cycle. I should have $68 left. We shall see. The only other thing that I will talk about are my expenses, and we'll do that really quickly because I have a lot of no spend days to record. And actually, I'm not going to show it to you in here. It would be better if I showed it to you here. So let's do that real quick. There we go. All right, so for my spending, y'all, I have 3 no spend days for this. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are all no spend days for me, which is great. I had 3 no spend days last week, 2 or 3 last week. No, 3 last week. I had 3 this week. I'm trying to get to 10 before the end of the month, and I started on October the 14th, so I'm doing pretty good. Anything that you see highlighted are all bills or all transactions that have already been accounted for. I do not count any medical expenses, any use of my sinking funds, or any bills that I pay as a part of the no spend challenge. All right, so I just wanted to make sure I notate that really quickly. Here are the expenses that I'm trying to reconcile at this point. So let's talk about it. Home, I did my home shopping for $24.57. This was all on the 18th. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the days that I spent money. I went to the grocery store. That was $75.67. Here's a lot of spending in between around dining out, etc., and spending my me money, which is all good. Again, if it's highlighted, I'm not going to reconcile it now because we've already taken care of that. I've started to keep my personal binder that has my personal wallet now, the Bella Taylor that I talked about before, and that's where I am spending all of this cash that you see here. So usually I don't document that down and let you guys see that because it's my cash money to spend however I want to. But I am trying to do better at tracking because what I want to try and do is at the beginning of November, like actually go with my checking account amount for my bills account and variable amount and just actually start documenting all of my expenses. I feel like that is going to be necessary because I have additional debt now that I am trying to tackle, and I've got to figure out, I got to get my dollars, my pennies, my whatever that I can towards that debt so we can get it paid down sooner because it's ratcheting up my anxiety. All right, so But anything that you see highlighted, that's already been taken care of. We went to Dairy Queen last weekend, and at this point, I don't even have any more spending out money. So I actually put that under groceries. So I do need to count that as a part of my grocery spend. And then went out with my girlfriends for my sign ministry. We were able to do that. Eat out. Y'all see a lot of it is eating out over the weekend. I just did not have the capacity to cook. And so the only other expenses is Amazon. I went there for about $103. That broke up into 3 different transactions. One was for house miscellaneous, and that was $25.67. I bought some stuff for the baby shower, so that comes out of the little bean category. That was $60.20. And then I had some personal shopping that I did for $17.11. I bought a satin pillowcase for my bed so that I didn't have to wear this thing on my head because my hot flashes are crazy at night. Corinne also had to get some contacts. Again, there's a sinking fund for that. So that's $99.98 for that. And then to come in and try and detect the actual water leak itself, it was $396.55. And I'm going to use sinking fund money for that as well. So we're going to total up all of those together. And that is, let's move this over some. $24.57 plus $75.67 plus $24.89. I have $25.67 plus 60, 20 plus 17.11 plus 99.98 plus 396.55 equals 700. So the total amount that I'm looking for is $724.64. All right, so home is $24.67. Let's write that in there. Grocery was $75.67 plus $24.89, $100.56. House miscellaneous is going to be a little bit tricky because I think I'm going to take some of that for the water leak as well. So Corinne is $99.98 for her contacts. Shopping for me was $17.11. And Little Bean was $60.20. All right. So house miscellaneous. So and I probably need to have a category here for emergency as well. And I did not write that one in. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to do emergency like that. And we'll do both of those together. All right. So this $396.55, I think I'm going to take $300 from emergency. So I'm going to say $300 is going to come from emergency. I'm going to take the other part, which is 96. It's the wrong line. Let's do this. Oh, no, that's not going to work. All right, so let's turn off text boxes and let's just keep on handwriting. Sorry, y'all, I'm doing some, y'all can't see that. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm moving these numbers down where they're supposed to be. And so, you know, good notes, you got to do things a little bit different. So let's move that down like that. All right, so house miscellaneous and emergency. $300 is going to come from emergency around that water leak detection. And then the $96.55 is going to come from house miscellaneous. I'm going to take that amount, that house miscellaneous amount, and I'm going to add in, I shouldn't have wrote that like that. I'm going to add in the other $25.67. So $96.55 plus $25.67 equals $122.22. So it's going to be a total of $122.22 that I'm going to take out of house miscellaneous. All right, so that is it. That should detect all of the money that I have. And I will just go over to my total was, let me go back to my total, $724.64. So I'm going to go over here and let's just make sure that is where we are. And this is, let's do that. All right. Yep, there you go. So the total due is on my credit card is absolutely, don't know if you guys can see that, but it is $724.64. So that is the amount that I need to reconcile, and we just took care of that. So I know all of the different categories that I need to pull that money from. I am not going to do that on camera. I'll do that because most of that is going to be online. So what I'm actually going to do is take that money, move it over into my Ally bucket that says my Ally credit card payment bucket on my in my high yield savings account. I'll let it sit there. It will collect interest, and then around the first of the month, I'll go ahead and pay that. So that is it. That's it for me. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.